the PHEX price is what? Is it still like 1.5 cents, right?
It is 1.5 cents,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So let's just say as an example, right? Because I'm just trying to, enlighten Buck here in terms of the possibility of Florida man, right? So if for an example, right, I think what is the price? What is the price of Pulse Chain right now? The price of Pulse Chain is what?
Zero threes, I'm sorry, three zeros, one two.
1 2. Okay, so 1 2. Okay, so 12. So if let's just say it went to 2, right? Let's just say it dropped in the 80%, right? What would that drag down the price of what PHEX down to what like penny? Because I mean, I think penny's really. I don't think it goes below penny, but like maybe it does go. I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
You know,
if it was that gangster of a drop, because obviously liquidity pools and all that bullshit.
yeah, that's interesting. Since the liquidity is so thick at the moment, it's kind of hard to move the ratios around with stables at the moment, right?
Right.
But as the liquidity starts to become worth less and the prices, like the price of Pulse starts dropping, price of Pulse X starts dropping, it'll be easier to find their real ratios versus their respective currencies, right? So,
And what you're talking about is because the prices are dropping, then everything else relative is dropping as well, and then it becomes all thinner. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So when you're speaking in terms of holding a stable, okay, so like right now, stablecoin in the ecosystem doesn't do much, right? Like if you have I don't know, like 100 grand, like you move the market around, I don't know, like 1 to 2% if you're
Right.
just buying one thing, right? Whereas as the prices fall, and these liquidity pools of hex to pulse or pulse to pulse x, um, as you start using these stable coins to buy individual currencies, you'll be able to push those ratios between the respective currencies uh, a lot easier because your stable coin does more as these coins are worth less, right? So, if we drop, I don't know, 50% from here, uh, you'll be at like the die pool would be maybe don't quote me on this math, but maybe 7.5 million, and then however much pulse it would be. So, 100 grand does a lot more to these pools than it used to do, where it's at 9 million now, right? So,
Yeah.
you'd get what, like 3% slippage or something like this with 100 grand, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and this is, napkin math and shit, like off the top of my head. But
Right. Right. Right.
the point is, as these things starts to drop, you'll probably see you might see PHEX kind of be relatively stable, although it still drops. Maybe it doesn't drop as much because we still don't really know the real value of Pulse Chain at the moment.
Right.
But we kind of have a rough idea of what Hex should be worth at the moment, right? Just because it's been around for so long. And as these prices fall, the stable coins that you do have or that you do inject, they'll do a lot more to these ratios than they are right now. Right now, they're extremely thick, and it's very hard to move the ratios between the currencies. But like I'll say it again, as the prices drop, it'll be much easier to move them around with stable coins. So that's what I have to say about that.
So can we dump enough E hex